NVIDIA just dropped billions of dollars into these seven stocks. Seven. Are these the next AI stocks to run, or is the AI market about to implode? Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Let's get straight into it here today. Please read the disclaimer. Now, before we get into these seven stocks, the current situation in the markets in general is tricky right now. It seems that the ceasefire agreement between Iran and the US might be on the verge of collapsing. So anything can happen this week in the stock market. We might see a pullback. There's also a lot of job market data that is coming out this week. So this week is going to be all about the labor market. And then so we have to take this into consideration that this week could be volatile. If we get any headline coming out this week from President Trump about the Iranian deal, this could shift the market significantly. So this is something that you need to know and need to take into consideration. Also, we have to take into consideration that the stock market just hit all-time highs last week, had its highest weekly close, also the S&P 500, also the NASDAQ. So you're looking at a scenario where there could be a pullback. We've had such an amazing run, especially in the AI ecosystem, that anything can happen, okay? And yes, these stocks that we're going to talk about in just a second could be game changer for a lot of people, but also 41 AI stocks are responsible for 70% of all S&P 500 gains since November of 2022. AI concentration in the index just hit 45%. For context, tech and telecom peaked at 41% during the dot-com bubble. OpenAI, Anthropic, and XAI haven't even IPO'd yet. The concentration is just getting started. It's getting started. It's getting started in here. Run in, down, run in. That's just a little bit Black Eyed Peas for you. I'm sorry if I was off tune. I've had a long day. I had to go to the emergency room in the morning, and so I'm tired and my voice is a little bit weak. So there's a risk. There's a risk here right now in the markets. I don't know when you're watching this video. Maybe this is going to be an evergreen video on this stock channel, and maybe you're watching this in 6 months from now. Maybe you're watching it today, tomorrow, and during this week. You know how this played out. But of course, we're talking about more of a long-term situation right now for these seven stocks. So I saw this tweet coming out and says, NVIDIA and its CEO, Jensen Huang, is literally giving you by what they're investing in, right? So they've invested in these seven stocks. So we have Coherent, which is a stock that we've talked about on this channel multiple times, right? Coherent, you can see it's just, I've actually been following Coherent for a while, since not 1990, 1988, but actually since around 2008, 2016, somewhere around that area when I started investing more heavily. A coworker of mine, her husband was doing a PhD in electro-optics, and he was talking about Coherent, and so I put it on my radar. Since then, it was around $20 a share for the stock. Now it's around $361. It's a $70 billion company. Basically, NVIDIA has invested $2 billion for fiber optic transceivers and photonics to connect their GPU clusters. I don't know if you're new to the channel, but I used to be a communication systems engineer, and part of what my job was when starting up was in this area of transceivers and fiber optics and things like that. So this is near to my heart. And Coherent continues to show domination as the data centers continue to grow, continue to scale. Coherent's going to have more and more business unless someone better comes around. So this is a stock that potentially could be very, very interesting for us going forward. Then we have Corning. NVIDIA secured a deal of up to $3.2 billion for priority access to fiber optic cables. Again, moving away from copper inside data centers. So again, many of the servers, especially when we were testing, many of this were about 1 gig to 10 gig of data. And for that, you can use a Ethernet cable or Ethernet, however you want to pronounce it. 1 gig, 10 gig, that was fine. But if you want to go up to 100 gig, which that was what we were doing back then, which was what, 6 years ago. So I'm sure that they're already up to 100 gig probably, right? So they're moving away from that, and that's what Corning can give. If we go and we look at GLW, you can see here GLW similar to what we saw with Coherent there, also is currently sitting at 181, also worth 155 billion. These companies are getting such a high valuation. Look what happened during the 2000s, right, when they dropped significantly. But over the past basically year, from 36 to 180, already massive runs, but potentially these 433%, but potentially these valuations could continue. You see, NVIDIA is putting a lot of money in these areas. CoreWeave, many of you know, NVIDIA invested $2 billion to help it out the AI factories. We got IREN. I invested in IREN as well, personally. NVIDIA invested $2 billion over 5 years for AI infrastructure within North America data centers operators. So we had CRWV, right? CRWV, CorWeave. Also, you know, it's a newer stock to the market, but it has a 60 billion valuation. You can see it has been kind of volatile recently. Had that big run up when it IPO'd from 40 all the way up to 183, but has pulled back. Had the low here of 66 in March, but now is up to 108. So that's an interesting one. And then, of course, we have IREN as well, which also has been similarly volatile, dropped down there, and has gone from basically $1 all the way up to 64 here in a very short period of time from 2022 to 2026. But most of the run happened here from 5 to 60 over the past year or so. And so also another one that is on that list there. Then we have Lementum. NVIDIA put $2 billion toward advanced lasers and optical networking products, right? So we got LITE. And so you can see also just, you see the longer companies, the companies that have been there longer since April have had these big run-ups. And the companies that are newer to the market, like CoreWeave and IREN, have had less crescendo movements, had less of these massive, wow, Light is up 1,700% in the last 442 days. But with the continuation of NVIDIA continuing to invest there, it could continue to go up as well. Again, all the stocks that we're talking about today, I don't know exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to play out. Maybe we see a pullback. Maybe NVIDIA stops with all its investing. Maybe the AI bubble pops. But if it doesn't, these could be real money makers. Okay. As always, this is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. The next one is Marvel Technology, MRVL. I know some people that work there. Marvel Technology also similar, has actually had a dip into the 40s in the beginning of the year, and since then has recovered also around to 205, also 180 billion market cap there for Marvel. You can see NVIDIA invested $2 billion for custom networking and silicon photonic connectivity, and NBIS, which has been in the headlines recently. NVIDIA put $2 million into the Dutch company for large-scale AI cloud infrastructure, and you can see NBIS. You can see also was all the way down at 13 previously in November of 2024, and now already at 231. So this is also a huge movement here for NBIS. And it's not just NVIDIA, actually, in NBIS. The investor, Leopold, which I'm not going to pronounce his last name, also announced that he had a stake. And Jim Cramer says here, when this man touches something, it turns to gold. Everybody are now looking at him as like the AI savant, because many of the companies that he invested in went up significantly. The Jay here says the next AI bottleneck is efficient interface at scale, which is why Nebius Token Factory is built around optimization, orchestration, and agentic development rather than basic GPU rental. So this could potentially be a big thing for NBIS, and that's why it has been doing good. We'll see if these headlines around it will be good for it in the short term, or will there be kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news type of action? We'll see. NBIS is very, very interesting. I don't know why I don't have it on my list there. I'm going to add it, and we'll continue to see how all of these stocks are going to perform. We did get news that Microsoft is going to unveil first Windows PCs powered by NVIDIA chips next week. So this is interesting. We know that we have Windows PCs that have, of course, NVIDIA graphic cards in them. I have a GeForce inside my laptop, but actual processor, that will be interesting to see how strong they can be. And the flip side here, we have Michael Burry that said that Elon Musk and NVIDIA's deal is built on fake numbers. Burry published a detailed breakdown calling the entire structure fugazi, his word for fake. He is alleging that billions of dollars in NVIDIA chips are being hidden off balance sheets and that American retirees are annulling funding the whole thing. And of course, we know that NVIDIA is the biggest company in the world. And so this is potentially a risk that if he's right about this whole situation, then again, NVIDIA could stop investing in all these companies and investing in the infrastructure and investing in AI, and then these stocks could pull back in value. So yes, this could be very, very good, and these stocks could be very, very beneficial, and they could make people very wealthy, but they could also, on the flip side, start pulling back if some of these numbers are actually shenanigans. Okay, so again, I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly in these videos. So I hope that you appreciate that. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.